Cam, just 6 kilometres away from Trafalgar Square. And so with that, let me leave you with a shot of the scene that some of these open water swimmers are enjoying behind me. Have a good weekend.
Oh, that's beautiful. Matt, thank you so much. I can't see any swimmers there, though, at the moment. Can we see one?
There is one there. There is one. I can just spot one. I think they're wearing a cap.
Can you imagine going for your morning swim and ending up on the telly? That would give you a terrible
I think we've captured someone having a shower. They didn't want that probably when they came out this morning. There you go. Quick, get the camera off.
Someone was getting changed.
8:55 the time now.
No. For the author Gill Hornby, her own life experiences are often reflected in her work. Her critically acclaimed first novel, The Hive, was based on her conversations at the school gate, while her new book, All Together Now, draws on her membership of a rock choir.
It explores how music can bring a community together, but we're left wondering whether another previous job might turn up in a novel about life working for BBC Breakfast. Jill, very good morning to you. Let's just explain that one first of all, because I asked you a moment ago, there was a rumour going around that you'd once worked on this programme.
Yeah, it's not a rumour really, it's more of a fact. Yes, yeah, no, and in the... I said to the boy in the lift, the 1980s, he looked like a kind of triceratops that just walked out. But I'm afraid it was.
He probably
almost
wasn't born.
The entire 1980s. I was running around in the back there.
So you went from a career in television to a career in writing. People will be familiar with your first book. So tell us a little bit about the new one. This is about a singing group.
It is. It's about a community choir in a sort of rundown provincial town. And they've got this ambition to go and win the county championships and win some pride back for their town. But like the town, it's sort of the choir's in disarray, everyone's snuffing it and leaving and so on, and they need new blood. So they bring in lots of new characters, often against all their will, and then their lives and loves and voices are changed.
Because the characters in the book do go on, I hate to say it, they go on something of a journey, don't they? Because it starts off in quite a bleak way in a town or city that people might be familiar to lots of us.
Yes.
Quite nondescript at times, their lives and difficult challenges that they're facing.
It actually started out, the novel, as an empty nest novel, talking about writing about what I know, because the last one, it was about schoolgate mums, and then my children started to leave home and my friends' children started to leave home, and it's quite an important sort of junction in your life, so I started out doing that. And it was really gloomy, actually, and I'm not really put on this earth to write gloomy books. And one by one, the characters I found were taking matters into their own hands and joining a choir. So I thought, right, hang on, stop this. Turn it inside out, make it a book about a choir, and bring in all these people and explore how joining something locally in the community can really change your life.
And it's something you've done yourself?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's something I do every Monday night.
Tell us about that. So,
well, I'm a member of Rock Choir, which is 10 years old this weekend, and it's got 17,000 members, and all over, so it's a kind of national franchise. So my book's not about that sort of thing, but we get together every Monday, and all over the country we're doing the same songs with the same moves and blah, 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 blah,
Should
blah.
we have a look at you singing? Because we have a clip. Here it comes.
Okay, my children can get behind the sofa.
So that's all your mates?
I am in there somewhere.
You are in there somewhere?
Yes, yes.
You were talking then about the transformative power of singing, because you said when you're singing, you feel like you look amazing.
You do. You feel like a pop star, even if you're not actually quite a pop star. But also, I mean, I started it, when I went there, it was starting from scratch, and I just watched this community build out of nothing, out of this random collection of people who just went into a school hall, and the bonding, and those little life-changing things that happen to people, and the friends making, and all of that sort of thing. And it just is wonderful. Standing next to somebody singing is a very intimate experience, it is.
Why is it that, do you think? Is it to do with the fact that you're putting a bit of yourself out there?
Yes, I think you are. I think yes. For a start, you're doing the same thing at the same time when you're, and you don't often do that in life, But also, you do have to sort of put your inhibitions behind you. And so once you have sat next to somebody singing with them, you're already at a different level in your relationship, you know, because you've broken down that one barrier.
I'm just curious as to whether, given that you are in a choir, you're writing about a choir, are people constantly tapping you on the shoulder and going, now that character?
Well, it's only out today, but no, I actually did stop going to it for 6 months while I was really writing the book because I didn't want reality to infect the fiction. But there was a moment when I first went there, our leader said right at the beginning, OK, so in 6 weeks we're doing a flash mob at Basingstoke shopping centre. And I thought, well, good for you, I'm not doing flash mobbing. And the woman next to me said, so you're doing the flash mob? And I said, no. And she said, well, why not? And I thought, well, because I'm stuck up and standoffish. So I, guess what, went off and did a flash mob in Basingstoke shopping centre. I did, and it was actually amazing. And we were all put in different shops, you know, and you had to pretend that you didn't know anybody and you didn't recognise anybody. And then they all have a sound system, these things. So it went beep, 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 and that was our code. And a woman just got up outside Costa Coffee and started singing, dancing in the street. And then everyone sort of goes looking at them like she's a nutter. And then we all sort of join in, a million other nutters. And it was just marvellous. And we did it again at 1 o'clock, beep, beep, beep. And at 2 o'clock, I was in the knickers section of Marks and Spencer's. And it went beep, beep, beep. And the shop assistant went, they're blimmin' off again. Trying to burst my bubble. But while I was doing it, I thought, this has to be material. This has to be... So there is a flash mob in this book. Yeah. Possibly the first fictional
Jill, nice to see you here on the sofa instead of doing what you used to do. And the book is called All Together Now. We're going to stay sort of with a singing theme in a way. The next story about WI, I know you're watching it earlier.
This would make a great book, wouldn't it? They are well known for their cake making and campaigning. Today, the Women's Institute will mark 100 years of the organisation.
The Queen will attend a special meeting at the Royal Albert Hall to mark the centenary. The WI, which now has over 200,000 members.
And as Breakfast's Jane McCubbin has been finding out, they've come a long way in the last